Hey guys, this is Pierre. I have noticed that the sound was a bit terrible at times from my end for those two upcoming episodes, episode 2 and 3. I'll try to position the mic in a better spot, but moving forward, it will not be the case. Hope you enjoy it.
What's up, people? This is Storyalysis. I'm Chris.
And I am Pierre. Pierre.
3 times. Oh my goodness. You know, Pierre, what I noticed. Do you notice the motorcycles in the beginning?
Motorcycles. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
When the episodes start, yeah. I don't think that's Vinland Saga related. That's just I think that's just a country. I think that's just a production. That's just whatever company that this does this. I think that's
Well,
why the
it
first scene.
it most certainly is. But what I noticed is that when I first watched Vinland Saga, I watched it on Amazon Prime, and you remember how in episode 1 I told you there was like Studio Wit, Studio Mappa, the two different companies that are working on
Hmm.
this.
Yeah.
They Studio Wit used this motorcycle scene, and it said Studio Wit at the end of it. And then when
Oh.
Mappa took over, it's like it's as if they borrowed or they stole that animation and just said like Studio Mappa.
Hmm.
Thought it was interesting. Pierre K,
Yeah.
insider knowledge.
Look at your man. They'll love it. The two
But
listeners will love this, and I'm one of them. So the one listener will love
uh,
it.
they'll be like, "Shut the fuck up. Get on with the episode." And I will. I will. Okay, episode 3,
Snake.
titled Snake. And ooh, do I love what Snake ends up being. The whole
Dude.
thing with Snake, my fucking goodness. This was this right here. This was my kind of episode, man. I
This is
love all the episodes of
episode.
Vinland Saga, but
Oh no,
this
no, bro. This
there were two
Vinland's.
displays of power.
Oh, Christian.
The first one, like, oh my god, when they
Okay, we're
all
gonna
right,
get to
so
that.
yeah, we're gonna get to it. But
No,
it
no,
like they
Christian.
start off. Oh
That
yeah,
is
sorry, go
true.
ahead, go ahead,
No, you go ahead, bro. Christian, you go ahead.
okay. We start off with a brawl, man, and they animated there was one scene that they animated. It looked very legit. It's like someone was going in for a punch and the other guy just sort of deflected it and then sort of countered his arm and threw him to the ground. That looked very official. I feel like they put a lot of effort into something that is very easy to not notice.
Okay.
One of the worst things about doing a podcast, of course, like we're doing, is that we can't really. I mean, maybe. Well, it'd be tough, but we can't show the animation. Um, and maybe some way in the future we can figure out a way to insert scenes, really small scenes, so that we can avoid copyright. Just to really bring home uh, the beauty in the animation, because
Okay.
words can never do it justice. But yeah, the fight scene that was going on, it was brutal. Because I think one one guy, did he lose an eye, or am I remembering that? No. I think he just got blood in his eye,
Mm-hmm.
and he got this other dude in a chokehold, and then they burst through the wood and tumbled down a cliff. Did they die? I don't know.
Honestly,
They
they're
don't
both
really
dead.
confirm it.
Yeah, the guys are like
You think
laughing, like,
so?
oh, these fools. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It is Vinland Saga, but and we see damn, what's his name again? The son, Omar. Omar.
Omar.
Yeah, we see him drinking, underage drinking. I don't
Because
know.
he's
I don't think
17.
there was
It's
a.
true.
I don't think there's an age limit
That's
back
not a
then.
thing. That's not a thing, bro.
Yeah, no. They would have given Thorfinn all the wine he could handle, probably.
That is true.
If he wanted it. When he was
Never
younger.
seen him drink. I've never seen him drink. You know, Thorfinn is like Tariq from Power. Like, just never see him drink. Like, Tariq got drunk once, and like, of course, he got played when he got drunk. I think it was, I think Effie was that. Did Effie do something to him? I think that's what's when he got kicked out of choke. Dude, I'm talking about Power. You don't even watch Power. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I truly do not.
You don't even know what I'm talking about. But dude, Christian, Power, bro.
Mm,
You know how to me there's like we need to I need to stop with these tangents. But anyway, I'm just to me there's a few people that writers do a very good job at making you go from not liking them and then to liking them. Like Theon Greyjoy I mentioned over and over from Game of Thrones. Like, dude, that complete
The doo-doo got
180
his balls
is
cut off.
insane. Yes. Like his death, I was like, wow. I actually was like, dude, you went out. Theon, you're a good man. Like I just did the voice. That's regardless. Those were the last words he heard before he died, which was like, bro, that was okay, I need to stop. But my point is this. Fuck, I don't remember what my point was. What is my point? Christian,
What
wait.
is your brain?
Wait, I mentioned Theon Redemption. Yeah, Tariq. Yeah, Tariq is a person that a character that a lot of people hate, but slowly growing to like because he's freaking smart. Get that from his dad. But yeah, crazy stuff. But anyway, back to what you're talking about.
You know, Game of Thrones is. I think that was the first show that you and I started talking about. You remember that?
I don't think so because you were never into it like that.
I
I would
was. That's
remember.
what I'm saying, dude. I was into it back then. I was. I truly
Well,
was.
Christian, I'm disappointed.
But
Anyway,
I'm disappointed. Are you kidding me? I'm disappointed.
listen, man, I finished it. You didn't. I'm so
I,
upset that you
mm,
didn't finish it. I don't even want to finish this conversation. Guys, there are timestamps, by the way. It's just if you're watching this on YouTube, you can skip this. But yeah,
very true. Very true.
yeah, I'm gonna make it a thing to keep announcing that. But yeah, that's true. Game of
Mm,
Thrones was great. Game of Thrones is great.
mm.
Um, so yeah, Omar underage drinking, not underage. That is true, like you said. No, um,
He's
so
the things he was saying was pretty. I
yeah,
like what he was. He
people
was
don't
like,
know nothing, but don't know that they don't know nothing.
yeah,
It's like,
they don't even know what they don't know. There's no
you're
way
not
they
even
can
that wise.
understand me when they don't know what they don't know, brother. Let's
Like,
go.
dude, this dude out here like acting wise. Like, you're just a drama king, bro. A drama queen at most. Bro. It's like,
There's one of my
just
favorite quotes. It's there are three. There are three. I don't even, not really sure what these are called, but there's three of them. There are the known knowns, so things we know we know. There are the known unknowns, so things that we know we don't know. But then there are
Mhm.
the unknown unknowns, so things we don't even know we
that we
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah,
Yes, and it's the third one that is the Achilles heel for most people. It's mm, that's one of
it's true.
my favorite
Mystery.
lines. But
Yeah.
yeah, he is in a drunken stupor, and he is dealing with two individuals that I thought were gonna be just like some throwaway side characters. I didn't think that they were gonna, you know,
Mm-mm.
be any
Yeah.
characters of importance.
Fox
But
and Badger.
man, was I
Yeah.
wrong. These are
Yeah.
some hitters. They
Nah.
are not messing around.
These guys are not messing around. That's a fact. Oh.
They are not. And then when they're
Yeah.
challenged, oh my god,
Yeah.
I love, love,
Hmm.
love displays of power that don't
Yes.
involve words. You know, there's a show. Pretty sure you've never heard of it. It was fantastic in season 1, but then season 2 it started to go down in quality, and then season 3, season 4 it just got worse and worse. It's called Seven Deadly Sins, and it's an anime. And spoilers for the first episode if you plan on watching it, or no, probably for the second episode actually. But the
Wait.
main, Mhm.
Christian, remember I got into this issue and it wasn't an issue. Remember episode 2 of The Last of Us? The link's up there, by the way. When I started with a disclaimer saying, it was subjective that I thought that The Walking Dead flopped, that some people might not have thought the same thing. So watch your words carefully when you say a show got worse.
I think people would. It's a pretty, it's a pretty widely
General
held.
opinion? Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah. But if you disagree, you're free to disagree. Totally fine. But yeah, in like the second episode, maybe possibly the third one, the main character, he's in this village, and he kind of like there's this sword that's stuck in the ground, and nobody can yank it out of the ground because it's so wedged in there with some kind of power keeping it still. And the main character, he just walks up while he's drinking some beer, and then he yanks the sword out, like no problem at all. And later on in the episode, I think the character's name was Gil Thunder. He hears that the sword, because he was the one who placed that sword down. It was like a show of power to the people. Uh, so when he heard that somebody removed the sword, he was like, okay, someone give me a spear. And keep in mind, right, like the main character, his name is Meliodas, the one who pulled the sword out of the ground. He's in a village. Gil Thunder, the guy who put the sword in the ground, is in a castle that's like miles and miles and miles away. And when he gets word that the sword was pulled out, he was like, okay. He stands up from the throne and he's like, somebody give me a spear. And then he aims the spear and he's like, all right, I think this direction is good. And then he yanks it. He throws it and it soars miles and miles and miles, heading towards the village. And then the main character, the one who pulled the sword out, he's like kind of in the middle of having a party with people. And then he kind of, his eyes light up because he realizes something is coming. And then he walks out of the building and then he looks up in the sky and he's like, all right, I think it's coming from about here. And then the spear, it's just, it has this massive wave of electricity that's behind it and it's soaring through, about to hit the village. The main character grabs the spear. It sort of pushes him and he just collapses into a whole bunch of buildings while he's holding the spear. It's like the force of the spirit's momentum is so great that it's pushing him really far into the village. And then eventually he stops and then he readies himself. He twirls himself around and then he launches the spear back miles and miles and miles towards Gil Thunder. It goes through a small crack in his castle. You see an explosion happen inside of it. And then there's a slow pan on Gil Thunder. He's sitting on the throne. And then the spear, like his head is tilted to the side. And the spear that Meliodas threw back at him is like inches from his head. And then he's like, there's a badass in that village. And it was such a cool display of power that I love when animes do that. I love when shows do that. It's so cool.
I know you do.
And yeah, and these two, all right, admittedly that was a pretty crazy, fantastical scene in Seven Deadly Sins. But what they did with the table, it's like, okay, they were being challenged by Omar because he was drunk. He's like, let me test you guys. Let me see if you really can fight still. And then they're just like, all right. And then they both at the same time with one leg just launched the table. It was cool, man. I love that stuff. It's just like, all right, really you want to see how powerful I am? I'll show you how powerful I am. And it's not even like it's just a taste of what they can do. It's awesome.
Oh, these guys are quick. And their ability to read what kind of opponent, their ability to read the level of Omar's like swordmanship. Like, all right, dude, we're fine. Like, they both remain aplomb throughout the whole threats. Like, draw out your swords. Like, okay. It's like, yeah, we know this guy ain't shit. Like, all right. It's like, great. When they knock down the table on him, of course, to make him feel even less. Come next to him, no, you're half of a man. You're not even a man. And the guy's like, whoa, I don't think you know what you're doing. He's like, no, I'm getting somewhere with there. Dude, the words that he said, man, you won't become a real man until you kill a person. Once you know how fragile human bodies are, you won't be afraid of them anymore. It's like just
dude, man, there's when he said you'll know how fragile they are. It's how do I even there's there's an ability to unlock a perspective where you're not afraid of people anymore. And the way you unlock that perspective can vary greatly depending on your life experience and just who you are as a person. In this case, he's saying that if you kill somebody, that can unlock that perspective where you don't get intimidated by someone. There's another
Yeah.
perspective that I personally have when I deal with people in real life. It's it's kind of like if I'm meeting someone for the first time, no matter who they are, I can in a moment see them as a child, see them as like a baby, and then I can see them as a child, and then I can see them as a teenager, and then I can see them as a young adult, and then I can see them as an adult if I'm dealing with an adult. So it's like within that split second, I'm able to quickly see the trajectory of a person's life. And that is my way of unlocking that perspective where it's like I'm able to see every single person that I'm dealing with as a human. And I does that I don't know, does that resonate with you at all? What
Mm,
do
I
you
understand it.
get what I'm saying?
I understand it, but I don't resonate. It doesn't resonate with me, but I understand it.
Okay. Do you have like any um I guess probably how do you I guess a better question, would you be like intimidated dealing with people of certain rank or caliber? Like say um what's a good example for you? Like actually no, I don't think you would be cuz you're like friends with the president of your company, right? Like the
Um,
head honcho?
Honestly, I think I would say, uh, are we friends? Like, well, dude,
Well, you
there's a power dynamic, of course. No, like, dude, I
right.
love like where I work. It's a family oriented company, so therefore the CEO and president talks to everyone. And sure, I'd say we do have a good relationship. That is true. Even like people I deal with some presidents and vice presidents of other smaller electrical contracting companies. So yeah, in a way, yeah, I guess you'd say shit. I guess in a way you would say that I do deal with some people that are top of their companies. Yeah,
And
actually.
do you think it's like experience that lets you just sort of treat them like a regular human, or like what do you think enables you to just be chill, for lack of a better word, with people like that?
Um. Well, I think I'm chill as long as I'm in good terms with them. As long as the service that I'm being paid by them to provide is being provided. But at the same time, once shit hit the fan, once there's an error in that power dynamic, it comes back
Kicks
knocking
in.
at the door. Yeah, like, hey, bro, you fucked up, and this is who feeds you. This is who signs your
Nice.
checks. But yeah,
Hmm.
no, but when things are going good, yeah, I'm yeah, it doesn't really the rank isn't really a thing until the rank is only a thing when it's consequential to something that has been done that's not good, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and just because the whole thing, just to tie it back into the show again, it's like they're talking about having perspective be unlocked through
Yeah.
some kind of mental framework adjustment. And in this case, Olmar's mental framework adjustment is like if you kill somebody, then you'll unlock that perspective that is needed. That's a way for him to unlock that perspective that he can not be afraid of anybody because he'll
Yeah.
forever see whoever he's dealing with as a regular human, just like him.
Yeah.
So there's no need to be afraid of dealing with another human who's just like you,
Hmm.
which I thought it's something that I think about a lot, and they're addressing it in the show, which is really dope. Not a lot of shows touch on something like that.
Yeah. No, and it's true actually. But yeah, once you've killed, yes, yes, basically,
Yeah,
yeah, it
killing.
takes away.
Oh man, dude, like I've never killed an animal before. Like even like running, like if you're driving, if you accidentally
Mm-hmm.
hit an animal, I've never done that either. So, but I think about situations sometimes. Like, what if there was an animal that was dying right in front of you? Like, do you think you would have it in you to kill them, or do you think you would
Um,
just let it
mm,
suffer until it dies?
I think that's worse. No.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it
the thing.
is.
That's subjective. That's subjective. You're putting an end to an animal's life that makes you a killer. At the same
The
time,
one that's already ending.
you're ridding it of its like agonizing pain. I don't know, man. People can look at that from different lenses. I don't know what I would do. I do not know what I would do. You know, because you feel bad either way. You put this animal out of its misery, but you kill it. That was the best thing to do, but you killed it. You let it go. You need to carry that with you. That you had a chance of letting an animal go swiftly, but then you just let it suffer. I don't know. I really don't know. Never been in that scenario, but I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, it's an impossible question, pretty much.
For someone who haven't killed. That's the thing, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe not impossible, but it's a very hard question.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, that is true. But yeah, what he said really made sense. And of course, he's like, yeah, we there's a way for you to become a man. Like just so you know, like you can just find someone to kill that person. And he's like, where would I find that person? Like, well, we're at the perfect spot. Like,
Oh, dude, before he even like said we're at the perfect spot or whatever, I was like, oh no, is this where we're
yeah,
going? Is
yeah.
this where we're going? This is exciting, but this is
Right.
rough.
There's a
This is
ton of folks
rough.
here you can kill and get away with. Like, there's a ton of
Yeah,
target practice.
where you're allowed to kill them. That's some
Allowed,
crazy
man.
phrasing. That's some crazy phrasing.
Mm,
You're allowed to kill them.
yeah, crazy stuff. And
Thorfinn's having a really bad dream right
yeah,
after that. I all right. Now, I don't know if they're playing into some kind of amnesia situation here. Because Thorfinn was like, he said, I feel like I dreamt about something that I mustn't forget. And I was just, it's episode 3. So the story can go in many different directions so far. I was playing with the idea that maybe Thorfinn had some kind of amnesia, and that's how he got himself into a situation where he's being somebody's slave. And but the whole reason I'm thinking this is because he said, I'm dreaming about something. I think I must be dreaming about something I mustn't forget. And it's like the only things this would be are the death of his father or the death of Oskalad. Something like that can be so traumatic that it can cause rifts in your memory. Like I can see that,
yeah,
especially for someone like Thorfinn who spent 10 years of his life obsessed with killing Oskalad. If
that is
Oskalad
true.
dies, that can severely fuck up his
What's your
mental.
purpose? Yeah,
Yeah, to a point where he just has some form of memory loss. Just like what's his name? Thorgrim. How he got fucked up because he was scared of dying to Thorkel.
yeah.
Something similar to that. So, but of course, this episode 3, I don't know where the story's going. That's
You actually
just what
don't
I
know where
got
the
from
story
that
is
line.
going. That's true.
All right, you basically just told me that I was wrong with that single line. But all right, spoilers. Sweet.
Crazy shit. But yeah, the guy even mentioned, dude, what kind of dreams make a man scream? It's like, it must be some deep shit. Yeah, and then he sees homegirl again, Arnheid. Arnheid? How would you pronounce this? Arnheid. Arnheid? Honestly,
Uh,
girl, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no
he's
idea.
like, you have a wonderful face. Oh my goodness. It's like, what's going on? It's like my heart. What's going on? It's like, it's nothing. It's my heart.
I don't blame him.
Um,
I
dude,
don't blame him.
acknowledgement, human acknowledgement. What did Leaf do? Give him a pat in the arm and said, "I'm very sorry." And he's like, someone acknowledged that I'm human." He says, "I didn't think a lady like you could understand me." Lady. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention I'm a slave." Dude, like the way it's already mentally ingrained that no, there's a difference. I'm a slave. I'm not a lady. Like, like I've been a slave for so long that I just when you think lady, right? There's just a woman. Well, actually, no, I don't know. Lady might mean very formal back then. But I understand still. But for her to make the comparison right away, that not a comparison, for her to straighten it out, clear it out. I'm not a lady. I'm a slave, just like you. I was like, damn, like that's insane. Like know your place. Like you're not a lady. I don't know. It was just, that's what I thought like that. For her to make that distinction, because you can still be a lady, but maybe in that time period, being a lady was something associated with class and royalty to some extent, ownership. So probably.
Hmm.
But yeah, Fox and Badger comes in to recruit. Hey, Thorfinn, Einar, come with us, dude. And Einar, of course, as he's walking, dude, Thorfinn is so unfazed. Oh, it's like, hey, they have sword. There's something that they want to do with us. This can't be good. Like, well, they're just bodyguards. They just watch over the farm. Like, okay, whatever's happening cannot be good then.
And even like yet again we see Einar displaying youthful innocence,
But how
like
so?
because he's the way he's just sort of giddy about a girl saying he looks attractive, and then but within the context of like he knows something is like what is it? It's like his guard doesn't feel completely up to me, and it feels like it's not completely up because he's just sort of having very pure innocent thoughts about a girl that he is falling for. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
but
because
I'm
of
just.
that, it's
Mhm.
like that's why his innocence is being displayed. It's like he's not having his guard up like Thorfinn probably does because he's just so distracted by what might be his first
Uh,
love.
I understand, but yeah, but this is no time, dude. We're slaves. Like you need to understand that this is not
Exactly.
a. This is not.
Exactly.
It's not some resort. Like, where, yeah, yeah. I understand. I understand. This is not Love Island, bro. We're not here to mate.
Right. Exactly.
I understand. I understand. Yeah. They get back to the place, and what is going on? Olmar is holding his sword. He's like, "What? What are you
Mm.
doing?" And Fox is like, "Bro, listen. This is a ritual which will allow this young master to become a man. So die for us." It's like, what? What do you mean to die for us? Like, well, your lives are not your own. Like you belong to Omar's family,
Yeah, and
so
you've
it
done
should be
nothing
an
wrong.
honor. It should be an honor for
You've
you to
really
get
done
cut
nothing
to death
wrong.
by him. Yeah, you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, and
And
between the
then
commotion, yeah, and then what?
no, I was just gonna say Einar was ready to sacrifice himself
Yeah,
for Thorfinn.
yeah, between like the whole commotion of Omar saying I can't do this, I've never done this, and Fox like, what do you mean you can't do this? And literally, yeah, Aenor's like, dude, this is our chance. Thorfinn, run! Jumps on Omar and just tells Thorfinn run, and Thorfinn didn't even move. Also, 2 to 3 seconds
Mm.
seconds later, showing that he really couldn't move because these guys drew their swords. Like you're not going anywhere. But that shows a lot. That actually shows a lot. That's uh that's a big sacrifice. Because as Thorfinn is running to get my master, if Thorfinn did go run, I'm about to get kicked and beaten to death before that master gets back with Thorfinn. So to think that way, that's pretty cool. That
Very
shows a lot about his
honorable.
character as a person. Yes, yes, that is true. And of course, Thorfinn's like,
Mm.
bro, you can just cut me.
And then he gets challenged. Ooh,
Bro, wait. Of
gets
course, no. He
challenged.
said he can cut me, and then they take us to Snake. Notice he
Snake.
fell asleep reading. This is a man who reads. That's good. The book is still in his face.
Mm. That's a good point.
Also a very lazy man too, because he's like, bro, where's the food? Gramps, like,
My
where's
food
breakfast?
at.
Gramps, like, bro, if you help me out here, like with the harvest, that I can cook for you. He's like, nah, I'm not about to help you with the harvest. Like, bro, then oh well, you're staying, you're not eating. It's like,
Mm.
like, all right, so I guess I'm just gonna go back home hungry. So also at the same time, there's a spilled drink on the table. So he probably got drunk, was reading, fell asleep with the book in his face. Um,
It's possible.
yeah, but it was a nice touch that he reads. I was like, great. Like anybody who reads is like, okay, and movies or shows, if it's done purposely, just to show you this is someone who's seeking knowledge, therefore have assimilated knowledge, therefore is knowledgeable. This is
Oh, nicely said.
Christian, of course, Christian. Just...
A rare Pierre W.
Oh, that's it. This
I'm
podcast is
kidding.
done.
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
kick rocks. Storyanalysis. Listen.
Oh, a common
Dude,
Pierre
guys,
W.
dude. Yes, Christian. Yes, very common. Anyway, that's where it is, bro. He says you can cut me and let Einar go back because we have a lot of work to do. So, I don't know if you want to take this speech, bro, because Fox dropped some. Like we only sell one product. Like we were warriors. This back and forth was beautiful. One man trying to inflict fear into another man that just no longer has fear.
Feel it. Yeah. So one thing, right? Because this threw me off, like not threw me off, but like I was when Thorfinn said that you can cut me down because did he say we have a lot of work to do? Or did he say there is a lot of work to do? Because if he says we have a lot of work
that means I'm still gonna be alive. Yeah, no, he didn't say we. He said there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Okay, you said there. Okay, then in that case, it didn't throw me off. Then it was beautifully done. Because he's like, all right, just kill me. I'm sick of this. But that means he's suicidal. I think it's fair to say. So then that begs the question: why didn't he kill himself already?
It's actually true.
You know? Or is it just that he sees this as an opportunity that there's no way out really? The only way out is for one person to die.
And he's
it's
okay.
Like, all right, if anyone's gonna die, it should be me. So just kill me already.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Yeah, that's true.
But the whole interaction, he's like, I can't overlook what you just said.
Yeah.
Letting that remark slide reduces the value of our product. Phrasing it as if he's a salesman, which is true. It's true.
Yeah.
Like it's a
you know what that product
choice
is?
of words.
Yeah.
It's death.
Like death.
We sell death.
Yeah.
And if you're not afraid to die, it diminishes the quality of what.
Yeah.
What
because
is that
death
word?
only has value. God. Because death only has value because we fear it.
And we want to live so much.
And we want to live.
God damn. And people are afraid to sell death too. Just look at Olmar over here. He's afraid for someone else to die. That just proves how much value there is in the ability to kill.
Yeah.
Oy. And then he starts to test Thorfinn. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. I really was not. This is another display of power again. I never thought the story would have gone in this direction. To the point, like he's making continuous cuts in Thorfinn. And I'm just remembering Thor's when he got shot with an arrow. He's just like, ugh. Didn't even say ugh. He's like, not even that. He just blew air out of his nose a little more harder than usual because an arrow got lodged in his chest.
Yeah.
It's like Thorfinn is doing the same thing here, except he's even more stone cold.
Yeah.
Like, to get slashed once.
No, Thorfinn is gone.
Is enough to. Yeah. It's like he didn't even get pushed back by the sword.
Mm-hmm.
He was just standing there, and it's just slash after slash after slash after slash after slash.
And these aren't deep wounds; these are right on the nerves, the ending of your skin, which actually do burn. Like I don't know when you get a paper cut. Did you see the pain? Because it's not a cut wound. it's slight. Oh man, it's yeah, and Snake make its way through it. Snake's like, damn, he didn't even blink. That's mad impressive. Bro, in the middle of all these cuts, like, show me fear. It's like, bro, why do we have to fear death? Like, do we live because we don't want to die? Does anything good come from being alive? Oh shit, bro. Oh my goodness. I'm like, why isn't Einar like this? just... Like, why isn't he in this
Uh,
stage too, bro? Like, you lost your dad and then you lost your purpose, but this man lost his whole family. I'm not trying to diminish
uh,
like, Thorfinn's struggle at all, but like, man, you're at a point that is just the amount of trauma that would need to be generated to get me to this point. Why isn't Einar at this point? He's
nah, but
like,
Thorfinn, he has 10 years
uh,
of rolling with the
that's
most
true.
savage human beings on the planet.
That is
Like,
true.
and
That
he
is
fought against the
true.
strongest man in the world twice. It's like
Yeah,
he not only has his emotions killed, but he has the confidence to know that like he could easily take every single person here. I'm pretty sure.
that is true. No, it's a good point. That's a good point.
But then he gets
Damn,
his ear cut off, man.
dude. Before
He
that,
gets his ear.
bro, does anything good come from being alive? He said, not for me. Not a single good thing has happened to me in my entire life. Which I'm like, that's a bit of a stretch, bro. I mean, you gotta have some deeper
Yeah.
past memories of living back in Iceland. You know, hearing Leaf stories and your mom.
I mean, just getting the master that he has. That's a any slave would
Yeah, I know,
kill for
right?
that.
But we understand the dynamic. Yeah, yeah. And then Fox cut parts of his ear. That's true. And he's getting more and more upset. He's like, "Show me fear. Your eyes next. Show me you're afraid."
His
And
eyes,
he's
dude.
about to swing for it. And Snake is like, "Fox!" And then we see the switch of "Show me fear" to
His eyes darting everywhere.
I'm now afraid for my life. Because the master's here. I'm the one who's afraid
Yeah,
now,
oof. Oof.
bro.
These are some crazy character designs, I gotta say.
Yeah,
Like Snake looks awesome.
dude, dude.
He looks so cool.
Mm-hmm. He reminds me of Daharu Naharis in Game of Thrones. I was so upset that
Mm.
Daenerys did not cross the sea and freaking go to King's Landing with this guy. She left him behind. This dude is that chilled, bro. Very skillful with a sword, but just so laid back. Like it's his first meeting with Daenerys. He came back with like 3 heads. He's like, what is this? Oh yeah, I was talking to my men and they didn't like you. They drew their sword and I drew mine, and they lost. Here's their head. It's just like, bro. When I see
Mm.
Snake, I'm like, it reminds me of. I hope I'm not butchering his name. I think it's like Dahar Naharis, something like that. She left him behind, bro. She left him behind. Man, crazy shit. He had a fight with King Jorah. Who was like, fight me. He was like, well, if I beat you, I'm gonna be known as the guy who beat an old man, and if you beat me, you're gonna be known. I'm gonna be known as a guy who was beaten by an old man. It's a lose lose, dude. He was just so cool. He was such a cool character in Game of Thrones. It's like season 1 of Game of Thrones. But
Hmm.
anyway, yeah. Snake reminds me of him a lot. Just the way he's so chilled. He was like, "Come closer," and he's like, Fox just gets a little closer and just bam, it's in the middle of his
Mm.
face.
Lost a tooth.
Oh, he's like, Badger, yes sir. Explain.
Hmm.
Oh, Thorfinn is
Mm.
just unfazed throughout this whole thing. Crazy shit, man. Crazy
Mm.
shit.
I
All right,
mean, deep
season 3
down,
and episode
Thorfinn
3.
has to be like, shit, this hurts. You know, some
Um,
part of him, some
I
part of
think
him.
he's honestly, dude. I think the, the trauma and everything that he's going through, he's grown numb over all the things he's had to do, killing innocent people, like following these guys. I think it's a numbness that transcended like a physical touch. It's just, like literally, just it is what it is. Like he's literally wandering through life carelessly.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think he was in no pain at all. It's so sad because he's still young.
Well, I feel. All right, last thing because I know we're about to end. I remember in Hunter x Hunter, slight spoilers again. Um, if you're gonna watch Hunter x Hunter, Killua, because he was like tortured as a kid. He had like lightning torture,
Yeah,
and then in one
yeah.
of his fights, a guy tried to electrocute him, and then the
He's
guy
like,
was
that's nothing.
confused.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he
guy was
laughed. I
like,
think.
"Did he?" Yeah, yeah, he might have laughed. Yeah, and the guy's like, "Why are you not being affected by this?" And he's like, well, I mean, he didn't say that, but he's like, Kill was like, this still hurts. don't like get it twisted. It still hurts. I can just bear the pain because I'm used to the torture of it.
Yeah, his
So
dad, bro, his own dad. But
yeah, it's his dad, his mom, his grandpa.
that whole family was messed up. His sister, brother ish, another
And,
freaking
yeah.
ambiguous character. But
Two of his brothers are ambiguous.
right, like, are you a girl or a
Alka
guy,
and
bro?
yeah.
Anyway, crazy
Uh,
stuff. But yeah, dude, episode 3 ends. It is looking great. It is looking great.
I'm excited for episode 4.
Excited. I'm freaking pump.
You've
But yeah,
already seen episode 4,
I've already
bro.
seen it. I think 6 was the last thing I saw. So by the time we get to episode 7, it's going to be fresh for you and I. So crazy shit. All right, dude.
All
Until
right.
next time.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
All right.